A drug task force attempts to take down drug lord Chen Qiang, but the operation fails and one of the unit's lead operatives, Xiao Ruolan, is wounded. When she regains consciousness, she remembers very little of her past life. The catch is that this isn't amnesia at all. The woman in the hospital is not Ruolan, but Fang, a criminal who underwent plastic surgery in order to be planted inside the police force. It's obvious that for us, the audience, cinema is creativity and art, but for those who work in the industry, it is first and foremost a business. And the secret of any business is simple: produce more, spend less. In Chinese online cinema, there are a number of companies that have put the production of internet films on an assembly line, which has plenty of advantages. Most notably, major cost savings, achieved by grouping the shoots of different films into blocks and signing bulk contracts with crew members for several movies at once. One of the most illustrative examples of this approach is Zhejiang Great Wall Legend film, headed by well-known Chinese filmmaker Zhao Rui-Yong. Coming from an ordinary village, Zhao found his footing in the 2000s as a screenwriter and director of patriotic TV series. And starting in the 2000s, he launched his own production operation, including films made specifically for online platforms. His business formula is simple. Zhao works in the popular action genre, receiving tax breaks and additional government support thanks to themes like the fight against drugs or historical patriotic stories, and produces films using a conveyor belt method. He is credited on all of them as artistic director, while the actual directing is handled by his younger protégés. Thanks to a pool of recognizable actors and streamlined production, he manages to maintain a decent technical standard while releasing up to 10 films a year. It's hard to say exactly how much Hunting Poison Storm cost, but it seems that slightly more money was allocated to it than to the company's other projects. At the very least, the film opens with a fairly impressive shootout. After that, things become much more modest, and the final showdown is disappointing, with obvious green screen work. But the initial burst of energy is more or less enough to keep the viewer interested for the full hour and a half. There's also an attempt here to shake up the familiar formulas of the modern police thriller by playing with variations on face-off and infernal affairs, though the filmmakers quickly run out of steam. The seemingly promising idea of replacing a noble law enforcer with a criminal ultimately goes nowhere and leads to nothing. In Chinese cinema, criminals cannot be justified, so after a brief flirtation with moral ambiguity, the film decisively returns everyone to their proper places. Fang is a villain, albeit an unfortunate one, while Xiao Ruolan is admirable and a true heroine. The movie features quite a few villains scheming against one another, but this is, in a sense, a simulation of frantic activity meant to give the plot at least the illusion of twists. Because everything related to the investigation and the confrontation between drug traffickers and the law is rigidly scripted, the police are always one step ahead of the criminals and remain in control no matter how events unfold. Naturally, there's nothing good about this predictability, and it's one of the reasons Chinese online cinema began to lose popularity at one point. But those are the realities of the industry. Only simple products can be put on an assembly line. And while Hunting Poison Storm is one of the more likable entries in Zhao Ruyun's production conveyor, gum is still gum. You're occupied for 90 minutes, but once it's over, nothing remains except a sense of unfulfilled hunger.